This seems to be an interesting video. It's titled Losing 50% of Your 401k. Oh man, I will be in tears. Let's check it out.
This client just lost 50% of her 401k. And I really want to make sure that this doesn't happen to other women.
Wait a minute. Why is it only women? Why is it not men as well? Why you don't want us to not get this valuable information that you're about to share with everyone with how not to lose 50% of our 401k? I'm only kidding a little bit, but it's kind of funny how she just mentioned just women and not men, as if we don't care. We care as well, but I'm not gonna lie. I'm really interested to find out how you will lose 50% of your money, your retirement, just like that. And the fact that she just said women, it sounds like something that might be a little juicy. Let's keep on watching.
Now, this client is in her early 60s, and so she had what's known as a silver divorce. She got divorced over the age of 50. And what she didn't do during her working years, she never made sure that her and her husband were in alignment with how much they were saving into their retirement accounts. So while she was cutting back and not doing all the things that she wanted to do, she put a bunch of money into her 401k. And he was out doing more of the fun things, buying all the toys that he wanted to buy, and just living a little bit more freely.
You know, that's the thing that always happens in relationships that people always discuss. And I've seen this time and time again, because in my household, it's the same way, right? In my household, it's always my mom was an excessive saver and my dad was one that worked and just paid the bills. But now in the retirement age, my mom has this mentality of saying, I don't want my money, right? My money. But it's like, technically it's your money together, right? All relationships are different. Someone in a relationship might be one who hates to spend and one might be someone who hates to save. But as long as you have one person, doing each and you try to meet in the middle, then that's fine, because that's the person you choose to marry. And if you're aligned in that way, then it is what it is. Now, it always happens as well, especially now in 2025, but people start freaking out. And then you have a conversation, a relationship, and you're saying, listen, we start cutting back because right now things are so tight. She's saying she's in her 60s, so getting close to retirement. So you probably just putting so much money into a retirement account while the other person is like, nah, man, I'm just living life and I'm enjoying life. Now, whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, I don't know. I'm not in their relationship, but I understand that money is extremely complicated. It's extremely complicated, and no one really just meets in the middle. It's like someone's always really excessive with the spending or excessive with the savings. And to me, they gotta reel each other in. Now, the fact of you get a divorce, okay, I think I see now what is 50% is a reduction of 401k is most likely gonna happen because you get a divorce. You split everything 50-50. I thought this was some type of bad financial decision that was made, but I guess not. So we need to find out a little more what's going on, because I think there's probably more information, because it's always difficult. It's always an interesting topic as well when it comes to how people handle money. It really is. So I want to hear what her advice is going to be for someone that's on that spectrum. Let's check it out.
And so now they've gotten to the point of divorce, and because they're going to have to split all of these assets that they accumulated over their 30 years being together, she now has to give him 50% of her 401k.
Fair? Do you guys think that's fair? I think it's fair. Now, I know it sucks that one person saved the most while the other person spent the most, but it's a lot more nuanced than that. And we understand that, right? Because once again, I'm my parents in this situation, because my mom always says this, and I had to sit down and explain this to her. She thinks that all that money in the retirement account, because she saved, is all hers. But I told her, the ability for you to be able to save at the rate you were able to save is also because of his income as well. If you live in a household with a dual income, that will give you the ability to do certain things. Just because you made the decision to do the transferring, you made a decision to do the payroll deduction, everything else in your household is being taken care of. Your mortgage or your rent or the bills or traveling, whatever it is you want to do is being taken care of. And it's being taken care of due to the fact of the other person as well is participating. Might not be putting money in the account directly, but whatever money is left over at the end of the month, that's going into that account. Right? Unless he is obviously spending and enjoying, and he could. But in his mind, right? Or even, okay, this scenario is saying a guy, girl, whatever. I'm going to say either a guy or a girl, doesn't matter who. But in that person's mind, what's going on is, well, everything is being handled, so why not? Why enjoy this money? So losing 50% of your retirement account, that will happen with anyone. That would happen with anyone. And I'm pretty sure, I know I would feel this way. Well, and you let me know how you feel. You always gonna feel like you get the shitty end of the stick, right? Like, I did this and this person did that. Divorce is messy. It's gonna be messy. And just splitting it down the middle and saying, all right, you know what? It's all good, move on, then go ahead. As long as you just move on. And it sucks because it's happening in your later stage in life, but that's life, right? That's just the way it goes. If you're willing to have a divorce, you don't want to have this person around. I know you want to make sure your assets are good, but what is it you're going to do, right? Listen, in my 20s, I was young and dumb. I got married and divorced within like 2 years because it just wasn't a good decision at all. I just did it because I was just young and I didn't know any better, but hey, I did it. And I remember when I went through my divorce, we're talking about splitting 50-50. I didn't even do 50-50, okay? I said, you keep the car, you stay in the apartment for 1 more year, I would pay it. I made it just to go back to the way things were in the beginning. Now, luckily, we didn't have that huge amount of retirement or whatever, but to me, it was like, listen, we built this together. I could do it again here. Take everything and just handle it. You guys let me know. Would you do the same thing? Let's continue watching.
Now I get it, they were together, but point being, she watched him for years do what he wanted, and she subsequently didn't do what she wanted, and she saved, and now she has to prolong her retirement an extra 7 years because she doesn't have enough money to retire.
Yeah, that is going to happen regardless. I know she's just talking about the 401k account. No, and okay, I get that. That's important. But there's way more to it than that. It's now the income that you're bringing in that's cut in half. If you have a house, most likely you have to sell it. There's way more other complicated things you need to worry about than your retirement account. And it sucks. Don't get me wrong. I know it sucks. But the retirement account got to be 50-50. If there's some equity in the house, that's 50-50. So you're going to get some money off the equity. Everything in the end is just going to work out. It really is. It's really emotionally, it sucks, but that's what marriage is about, man. You build something with someone together, it's going to be cut in half if you guys decide to leave, right? I mean, it's unfortunate they didn't have a conversation to try to like iron things out, right? Like, hey, you know, you're spending too much. I'm trying to save, but we don't fully understand the whole financial situation, so I'm not trying to get so much into it. But I would say this. First of all, it's interesting to find out the whole situation. This is just her side, her perspective. Obviously, we're not hearing the guy's side. She's defending her client, and she's trying to help her client out because of the whole 50% being taken away. I understand that. But hey, man, it just happens in relationships. No one's going to sit down and say, hey, listen, I'm saving more. You know, you're spending, and what if we get divorced? And like, who's going to just bring that up? Just enjoy life, in my opinion. Just enjoy life. And if someone's spending like crazy and it's causing harm in your relationship, just have that conversation and say, listen, you're spending too much, cut back. I'm worried. I want to make sure we can retire comfortably. Can you just please stop spending? If they don't listen, then you go from there.
So you have to get this checkup. I'm not talking about the basic financial checkup. Oh, how much money are you making? How's our debt? No, we need to talk about serious things. Are we saving at the same rate? Are we in alignment with that? Because you've got to figure out how to get on the same page there so that you're not potentially giving up half of everything that you have sacrificed for.
Okay, I mean, listen, you kind of knew what you got before you got married. Like, you knew the type of person you got married to. Like, it's rare someone goes from an excessive saver to an excessive spender. It's most likely, what usually happens is someone has to spend, they spend a little less, but the other person will start freaking out and saving more, and the closer you get to retirement, saving more and more. If you ask me, that's your own personal choice. It really is. If you want to save as much as you want to save, then go ahead. 'Cause I got a feeling that if he would have cut back on his spending and would have saved more, she would save more on top of that, and she would have felt like she has, you know, the bad part of this as well. It just is what it is, man. Like, it is what it is. There's really no pleasing anyone in this situation. And unfortunately, when you get married, that's what's going to happen. All your assets get split 50-50. You know that. And you shouldn't go in a relationship like, man, you know, let me not save so much because he might take 50% of this. It's not fair. If you're thinking that, then guys, it's over to begin with. You might as well never get into the relationship, or even if you find out in a relationship, just end it as fast as you can, rather than finding out in your 60s when now you got to start all over again in your 60s. You guys drop a comment down below and you let me know how you feel about that situation. Is it fair that he's getting half of the 401k, or you think it's not? I would love to hear a comment. Drop it down below. At the same time, hit the like, leave a comment, and subscribe. Peace.